Hmm. Your dreams ain't easy. Go from boys to man. You must act like a man. It gets hard sometimes. Just act like you know, and you will know. I don't know if you guys remember those lyrics from the song from the film Jason's Lyric, but I know I do. And that was going back all the way to 1994. Everyone, welcome to another edition of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. This is your host, Val the Voice Johnson. And yeah, the shirt you see me wearing, it's about Jason's Lyric live. It's a little bit different. It's on stage, and we're going to talk to one of the actors that's a part of this wonderful production that is on tour coming to a city near you, or it might have already been near a city near you. It was at the Erie Crown Theater over the weekend here in Chicago. Then it went to Indianapolis, and then I think it somewhere else. I think it went to Kentucky. I think that's where it went. But it's another edition of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. You know how we do it. Let's go. It's another edition of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. This is your host, Val the Voice Johnson, and also it's Coach Tony. Hey, what's
Man,
up, Coach?
I'm sitting there banging to that intro. I'm gonna get my nephew to drop a rap for this interlude talk on Tuesday. We're gonna step it up. We in 2026, 20. I mean, my bad, 25. I'm trying to get the year over.
Oh my goodness. It's so good to see you, Coach. And we are so happy to see you here on Interlude Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. Well, you know what we got to do. We got to make sure that we do take care of business first. You know how
Take
that
care.
goes.
Pay the
Of course,
business.
you got to take care of business. So, of course, the book, A DJ Saved My Life, it is part memoir, part the ABCs of starting your own podcast. And of course, you can get the ebook and make sure that you're able to go to what is that? Get a copy of it at Pure Lighthouse Media. Well, now it's .com. It's still .net, but it's also .com. I'm also excited to let you all know that our brand new website has merch. And of course, patreon.com. We have our breakdown of some of the things that happens, the funny things that happen in the back. You know, you guys don't see what happens in the background. That's how it works.
Wow.
So go ahead and join us and do that on what do you call that? Patreon.com/interludes. And then, of course, our affiliate sponsor, it is KeySpot. Connect, share, and grow. Make sure that you're able to, I think this Thursday on March 20th, if you're interested in networking with a few small business owners and CEOs, make sure you do so. Go to keyspot.app. I'm sorry, keyspot.app.com, and you can get some more information about how you can advertise your small business on the KeySpot app. And for small businesses, it's just as low as $15 a month, where over 100 businesses across the country, including Canada, can find you on the app called KeySpot. Oh
Get
my goodness.
that, get that before they put a tariff on it. I'm telling you right now. If you don't get that $15, it's gonna be 35 in 2 weeks. I'm just telling y'all.
So I'm
Tariffs is
stacking up
coming.
I'm stacking up right now real quickly to go ahead and do that. Oh my gosh. I see Janita.
But Janita, see, hold on, Val, before you even talk about Janita.
Mhm.
This is when you put your age out there and you start talking about Fat Albert. then I know you in our age bracket. Because these kids don't know who the hell Fat Albert is.
No, they don't. They
Janita,
have no
I'm
clue.
already telling you, girl, I like you already. Let me get some pounds.
I mean, what? How does that work? We do not know, but we're all excited about that. And of course, let me go to Janita. She's going to be on our show next week. She is traveling, doing what she does best, letting the world know about her and JB Som. That's how she's known. And of course, she
Okay.
says, "What? It's not Fat Albert, but it's Janita Burke,
I ain't Fat
aka."
Albert, Janita person in the his house. Tell him right. Hey, as she say, JB. JB. That could be a couple of things. Cause me and Val are house music people. That's James Brown's money wheel. Do 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 do. Hey, don't get us started. That JB, right? That JB Monorail is dope, Val. Don't let her play you. Don't calm down, Val. Don't do it to her. Don't
Don't,
do it
don't
to
do
her.
the
Don't do it
dance.
to her. Yeah,
Oh
don't
man,
do it to her.
I was getting ready to
I
get up
know
and
you
start.
going. You ready to clown on him already? I already told you. Calm down. Don't even give it to him. Like, don't even give it to him.
We
JB,
we
thank you for checking in. I appreciate you on the show. Pull up on us, and talk about what's going on.
Yeah, she's got brand new music celebrating not only her birthday, but of course,
Happy
one of the things
birthday.
that we love to talk about is March is Women's History Month.
What?
What?
Bum, 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 bum,
Woo!
bum. Man,
Phenomenal women.
that's
Phenomenal women.
love it.
Phenomenal
Phenomenal
women.
women. I
What
mean,
are you talking about?
we're talking about that. Val, let me tell you something. I saw something on TV today about the curling iron. What? PWI don't know nothing about no curling iron. That came straight out the hood.
Yes,
So
it
if
did.
you ain't up on your curling iron, you better get your history on. Not history, but his story.
Yeah, her
Yeah,
story,
my bad, her story. In
which
her
is
story. Because her story told you how to curl them bangs.
Yeah, and I have to say honestly, this is such a wonderful, wonderful thing with Women's History Month. We have so many phenomenal women that we love and that we'd love to go ahead and honor. But of course, we're excited that JB Som is coming to the pull up to the Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesday on next
I wish
week.
she was coming to the
So
pull-up. Come on now. But and I gotta keep the spirit going too. In essence of women, always shout out my baby girls. What's up, Scholar, baby girl? What's going on? She love you, Val. She was
she
walking
does.
around. Let me tell you something. Last week, Scholar was walking around the house with the phone, watching the podcast. I'm struggling to get to my homeboy. Like, look, dog, pull up on me and watch the podcast. She's like, why Val the voice and Pawpaw ain't talking to me? She thought she was interactive, that she can talk to me. Like, that's okay.
Mhm.
But I want to shout out to my baby girl. She just came off spring break, going back to school, Miss Skylar Wilson. And then my new baby girl, can't forget her, Miss Olivia. I call her Friday, Val. You know why I call her Friday?
Why you call it Friday?
Because she was born on Good Friday. My daughter mad as hell. I'm like, I don't care. That's something that me and her are going to develop. But to me, she's Friday.
I know, I know. So there's Janita looking all beautiful. She
What's
sent me
up,
this
Janita?
photo.
I like
So
that. I
we're
like
gonna
that
we're
little
gonna be
outfit.
we're gonna be doing a little bit of her music on next week, and of
What kind of
course
music she got, Val?
inspirational,
Gospel?
inspiring, empowering women. Everybody music. That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about. All that good
okay.
everybody music. That's what I'm
All
saying.
right.
That's what I love about her.
Should have make you stump your feet and your hands?
Pretty much, and praise the Lord with one of them, and then
Hey,
and
don't
then
don't
and then you
start
got to
flipping
stand
down the
with
aisle like
another.
Martin, mama.
Oh my gosh. Well, we got to go into what was happening over the weekend. I got a chance to spend some time with my girl. This has been my home girl since high school. No, I'm sorry. We go back to grammar school. We've been
Okay.
friends for over 40
For
years.
some of y'all that don't know what grammar school is, for some of y'all call it middle school. Chi-town, we call it grammar school.
So that's my girl Princess. Who I told her, I says, girl, there
Okay.
is a yeah, that's my girl Princess. She's been to the show before, but we got a chance. I told her, I says, I need to review a stage play. It's coming to the Erie Crown Theater. You familiar with where the Erie Crown Theater is, right,
Come on
Coach?
now, you already know.
Exactly, exactly. So we got a chance to see Jason's Lyric live. But one
Ooh,
person I got a chance to meet was, you remember Young and the Restless?
come on now, it's still on.
It's still on, exactly. Well,
Victor Newman,
one of my favorite characters, Drusilla,
Drew's.
Drusilla
Oh
Winters,
yeah, Drew. Oh
Drusilla
my God,
Winters.
I used to
Yes,
love Drew. She went off with she was there with
Christoph St.
Omar.
John.
She was there
Christoph
with
St.
Omar.
John.
I
Hmm.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just she was there before Omar went to FBI, and did his thing.
Are you
I
referring to Shamar Moore?
Yes, Shamar Moore, which I was my bad. I was giving his name on TV, but Shamar Moore and Drew was a thing. They were damn
Well,
near like Angie and Jesse,
she was married to Christoph St. John's character, but I think the brother was Shamar Moore, if I remember that correctly. But
and they was getting
she's
it in.
in the play, and she has a new book called The Women Who Raised Me. So I got a
Okay,
chance to get. I was looking for the book. I don't know where the book is. It's kind of hiding out in this space. I have it around here somewhere. But
you know
anyway,
I would have fainted on that picture. I'd be like, ugh.
so I got a chance to meet her in person. And that was really good. I got her signing some of the books too. And they're like, I'm only taking with people that purchase the book. I'm like, all right, I like your hustle. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I
And of
like that also.
course, with Jason's Lyric, I saw the original movie. Did you see the original film?
Come on, Val. It's my name, Coach Tony. Hey,
So
matter of fact, what was the play at in Chicago? Let's make sure everybody know. Was it at the Chicago Theater?
it was at the Erie Crown Theater,
Oh, it was
right?
at the Erie Crown.
It
Okay,
was at
ooh
the Erie
wee.
Crown Theater,
I
yeah.
forget they got to put the brothers over there at Erie Crown. Yeah.
And so with this is Jacarius Johnson's version of the film Jason's Lyric. And the one thing that I will say is that the original writer, Bobby Smith Jr., was one of the people that commented and said, "Hey, this is how this play is going to go." And the fun thing is that I want to say a couple of the original cast members, including the lead actor Alan Payne, who reprises his role of Jason Alexander. He's playing opposite of Eva Marcel, who was Jada Pinkett's character in the original film.
Oh, okay, yes.
Lisa Nicole Carlson, excellent actress. Ally McBeal, Love Jones. Her character is done by Kay Michelle, who sang one
Oh
of her
my girl.
powerful songs. And then, of course, my friend lost her mind when she met Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
There he
We're
is.
gonna get a chance to see a little bit of the
Boom, boom,
interview.
bomberino. And by the way, for those that don't know about my man Alan, he is in the House of Pain. So if you're watching House
Ah,
of Pain, that just want to let you know, if you're watching House of Pain and never seen Jason Lyrics, that's what we're talking about.
exactly, exactly. So my girl Princess, we stuck around, and Elijah said, "Val, if you could hang around to the end of after the show, we usually come out so you guys can come and see us." But what ended up happening is that Lawrence came out after I got my book signed, and Princess kind of, I mean, she hugged
Look at
him.
Val get a love
She
hug
called him
on.
boom boom. It was too funny. I'm sitting up here like,
Boom, boom. Hey, that was welcome back, Carter.
welcome back. Welcome back.
Back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. That was a show. For y'all young folks, Google
Mhm.
it.
But Lawrence was very sweet. I was just like, "Hi, I'm so sorry. My friend's losing her mind over you." And he was like, "Oh, she gives good hugs. Oh, okay, it's good to see you." He almost looks a little confused. Like right here, he's like, "Okay, what?
You're like, okay,
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 thank
Val,
you."
let me go.
And
Let me go. Let me go. That's fun. You like, hey, I ain't been around nobody in a minute, so I'm gonna get this hug.
I'm like, "Princess, you married. I need to send you back home to your husband." So it's all good. She
Right.
definitely cracked me up. But yeah, so I was really impressed with how, there's things you can't do on stage that you can do in film. You can shoot here, you can have all these places. So they just had to kind of switch back and forth. And what I noticed is that Tyron Turner, if you guys remember him from Menace to Society, and he was
Oh
the
yeah.
young man who was in Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814. You remember
What
that?
character?
Black and
Yep.
white.
But what character did he play in Minister Society? That's what I want to
He
know.
was he was the lead character, and that was initially supposed to go to Tupac,
Exactly.
but if you all remember
There
back
you,
then,
there
Tupac
you
and the
go.
Hughes brothers fell all the way out, and they brought in
Correct.
Tyron Turner, and he played opposite Jada Pinkett
Exactly.
at
I
the
just want to
time.
make sure y'all knew he the one that fell in love with Jada. Was supposed to be
Uh-huh.
moving with Jada to Atlanta until my boy MC8, the rapper, took him out.
Right, exactly. And K Michelle does a good job. I kind of feel like she's been in the reality show world for a long time, but definitely when she sang one of her hit songs and during the play, everybody that's familiar that loved her, they were up, they were waving their hands, singing her song that she was singing to Tretch. Now, Tretch was from Naughty by Nature. He's one of the people that's in the original play, and that's Elijah. That's Elijah. We got a chance to meet him.
Oh, you guys got.
Princess.
What do you think about McKay Michelle though, Val? Before we move on from that,
Mhm.
because
Like I said, K Michelle did a decent job. She reprises the role of Lisa Nicole Carson's character
right,
in the original. So she plays a good best friend to Lyric. That was Jada's character, and so she having the conversation with Eva Marcel, you kind of felt like they were friendly. That's all they have to do, just establish that there's a relationship and a friendship,
right.
and of course she's in love with Lyric's brother, who is Tretch's character. So yeah, I
I'm
was.
just glad she made a move
Mhm.
because she was
Yeah.
part of the Love and Hip Hop series and all that,
Uh,
and it was tarnishing her
mhm.
because it was showing things about K Michelle that I didn't like.
Mhm.
We all know about her mom, right? We all
Right.
we all know how hard her mom lived and all that, but it showed the love that we know about problems she was having with her and her siblings and stuff like that. So I'm just
Mhm.
glad that she broke away and did something positive because I love her as an artist, but I thought the TV series was bringing her albums down and doing nothing for her.
Yeah.
And so something like this is jumping in Jason lyrics, something that's positive, a very positive spin, and you got two really powerful actors alongside of you, you got to bring it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I think what now Eva Marcel has a lot of acting experience. And of course, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, he has a lot of acting experience. Tyron Turner, all of these folks. But the great thing is that this our friend Monique Lisa, this is her son in love. This is she's married. Yeah,
Mo.
he's married to her daughter, and they got married, I think, at the end of 2023. But here's the
That's
fun thing about
nice.
this. He was such a sweetheart, and when I saw him, I just felt like my son. That's how I felt. Like this is
Oh,
someone young
you,
enough to
you
be
you
my
got
kid.
another compliment. Melissa told me this morning after we got off the show. She said,
Mhm.
"No, Val's one of those people that I will let babysit my kids." I'm like, "Damn, okay. Well, what about Coach Tony? I know your son may come on with a knot on his head, and he may have to explain that he wasn't listening to me and got hit in the head with a hammer. But I'm just saying, if he'd have been
Oh
listening, he wouldn't have been hit in the head with a hammer, Val. You know what I'm saying? It's just discipline. At its highest form. I'm
Now
Chicago, so
this is what I found a little. This is what I found a little strange. Now you have everyone had a bio except for Alan Payne. Like all of these are scanned
you don't
from
need
a.
nobody. It's like a pimp, right? You go to Chicago and you say Bishop Don Juan, right? Bishop Don Juan don't need no freaking resume, Val. They know he a pimp. Chicago's finest. He been
Oh
on
my
Martin.
gosh.
He been with Snoop. You know Bishop Don Juan. He the man. Man, I don't need no
Mhm.
resume. He like, look, man, look at me. It's like if you see Idris Elba, do you think you need to explain who he is?
Not really. And
Exactly.
you do have a point. You don't really have to explain it. I totally
Michael
understand
Jordan
and
and
get
Tiger
that.
Woods don't even carry their credit cards around. They get stuff on facial looks. Oh, you're a Tiger. Don't worry about it. We'll put it on the house. That's what
Oh
Alan
my
Payne is
goodness.
at in the movie industry. You know what I mean?
And this is Jacarius Johnson's production of this, and but it was directed, and I found out it was directed by J. Kyle Manze. So you see him there. He's the one that directed this, and of
Is
course
that
I
the one to the
said
left or to the right, Val?
that is to the right, to the right. So
Okay.
you see Tretch on the left, Allen in the
Oh, that's
middle,
Tretch. Okay, gotcha.
and the director is Jake Kyle. So um like I
Let
said,
me ask you a
and a light.
question.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question. So you listening or you've seen the original Jason lyrics, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Which to me was phenomenal. It was based in the bayou down in New Orleans and just phenomenal. It was basically two kids and everything. How did the stage play correlate to the movie? And did you think that the play with the people they use as characters now in 2025 did justice from this movie 20 years ago?
We're talking 30 years ago. So
Oh
that's
wow, 30. Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know it was
yeah,
the early 90s. That's
1994.
right.
1994 is
Wow.
when the original film
Ooh,
came out.
31.
30, yeah, so 31 years ago. So here's the thing. There was, I want to call it the nightmares that the main character has. And I forgot because I actually rewatched the film Jason's Lyric over the weekend, and then
I did too. You
I
made
for,
me watch it.
I forgot that Alan Payne's character Jason kind of narrates things and kind of
Correct. He
walks you
does.
through a little bit,
Yes.
and he does the same thing in 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 the stage play. And so what I want to say Jake Kyle had the actors do was kind of reenact some of the things that he said in the same film. Ghosts, they're out there. They're there, and you never know when they'll show up. So every time his character or Elijah portraying the younger Jason would have some type of memory or nightmare, Lawrence Hilton Jacob as Mad Dog, and that was the character originated by Forrest Whitaker. He would walk across the stage, and the set light design would go red to let people know that this means I'm my heart is racing. I'm having another nightmare because I'm thinking, how are you going to show that? Because in the film, you just see Jason wake up out of the bed sweating and looking, so they're not going to show that in a play. So the music would kind of change, get a little eerie, and then Lawrence would do his walk across the stage and then just keep going. And I noticed it was weird. So Lawrence had to go for Mad Dog, going from being very well to according to the film, Mad Dog lost his leg in the original film, so so he had to kind of walk with a limp. Victoria Rao plays the mom, and we in the original film, who's no longer with us, Suzanne Douglas played Jason's mom in the film. And so Gloria, that was her name. So I was just thinking, man, and I think they even sang the song Gloria from the Enchantment. Remember that song, Gloria? I think they even sang that. So I was like, oh, look at that. They had a very nice ensemble singers because they had to mimic the choir. You remember the choir in the film? So they had they sang that song, I Know I've Been Changed. And then
Right.
they sang some other songs, kind of getting those guys together, because we keep forgetting at the core of the film or the core of the play, it's a love story. It's a love story between Jason and Lyric.
And
And
lyric,
so,
it
yeah.
reminded me so
Mhm.
much of
Mhm.
when I look at Jason lyrics, it's almost like, remember the movie Stand By Me?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Mhm.
It's same concept. But it's
Mhm.
so crazy. But what I love about this, I remember when Tupac and Janet did Poetic Justice, and I
Mhm.
thought they were, oh wow, because we had seen Jason Lyrics, right? We had seen everything that was phenomenal of that. And then after Jason Lyrics came the Inkwell. Remember the Inkwell?
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
yeah, I
thought,
remember that.
and then I thought, Poetic Justice kind of play off of this. Wait a minute, hold on. But to you to see this as a stage play and they bring it back 30 years later, that's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I
And
know.
did it even remind you of the movie at all?
Of course, of course. The
Oh,
music reminded me of the movie. I was definitely
that's
reminded because
nice.
I saw Alan. And now let me make sure I do this before we go any further. I'll let that be your last question. Elijah was here in Chicago. This
Okay.
play was it did about three performances, one on Friday and two on Saturday, and then they were on the road. So guys, I want to go ahead and share a little bit of the interview I did with Elijah on Friday and his experience. Now, the great thing about him is that he is also a producer. He is one of
Okay.
the
Young
young
producer.
talented actors that had a film that was selected by the Cannes Film Festival, and they flew him over to talk about his film. So this was really, really, really amazing, Tony. So we'll get
Wow.
right on to it. Our interview with uh, Elijah Washington.
I think he needs a manager. Man. I let him know I'm available.
He's he's got a manager and he's got a publicist. So I had to go through all that. Okay, here we go.
Oh
Here we
man.
Val the Voice Johnson, and this is another edition of the Interludes podcast, and also Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. We love talking entertainment, and I'm so excited. You remember the film Jason's Lyric? I was a huge fan of it. Alan Payne, Jada Pinkett before she got married, Tretch. Oh my goodness. Well, Jacarius Johnson. I like to call him the Tyler Perry of touring stage plays. He has come up with Jason's Lyrics Live, and we have one of the talented stars, young stars of the play. It is Elijah Washington. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? So good to be
I
here with you in
oh,
Chicago. It's a beautiful day. I'm so
so
excited.
I'm so happy you came on a weekend when Siberia left. It was very, very
Listen,
cold here.
I got my running this morning. It was a lot warmer. I ran yesterday too, and I felt that I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is really windy city. So today's a lot warmer. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited that you're here on a good weekend too. But I have to ask because stage plays are a little bit different than film, and looks like you have been acting and producing for a little bit. Tell me about your experience.
Yeah, so originally from the DMV, Maryland. Um, I grew up in church. My dad's a pastor, so grew up in the arts. I reside in Los Angeles. I went to school in Indiana, so I'm familiar with the Midwest. Went to school for music, and also did theater as well while in school. And yeah, I've been very fortunate. God has really, blessed me to have been able to work in Hollywood. I've executive produced a feature that screened at the Cannes Film Festival's fourth edition of the Pavilion Afrique, which was an amazing experience. And yeah, I've done a few guest stars, been in some indie projects, and now on a national tour with an amazing cast.
Oh my goodness, I know. And I have to say, with having a film in Cannes so early in your career, I have to say this was a great and major accomplishment. What do you think attracted the the festival folks to say we love this film and we want to feature it in our festival?
Well, I always say start with the art. I think anytime you do anything, you have to really work at perfecting the craft. And I think when you start with making great art and things that truly, not making something that you feel others want to see, but make something that moves you. I think that's the first place you need to start. And I think authenticity will take a project a long way. And thankfully enough, we were fortunate to bring it all the way to Cannes.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, that's a major accomplishment early in your career, because I
Thank you.
feel this is just the stepping ground. Now, here's the thing. A lot of folks have heard of Jacarius. To me, he reminds me of also a playwright, David Talbert. How did you hear
Mm.
about the auditioning process for this national tour for Jason's Lyric Live?
Yeah, actually, a casting director reached out. He thought of me for the project, so I sent in my material, and then my team took care of the rest. And yeah, now we're on this tour. So I guess they liked me.
And how many cities is it going to?
That's a great question. I would have to look on the website, but
Mhm.
we're literally all over. We've done Houston, OKC, LA, which it was so great being in LA just because that's where I reside now. Uh, Oakland, we're in Chicago now. We have a show tonight and tomorrow. We did Milwaukee yesterday.
Ooh.
And then looking forward to being in the DMV as well. That's coming up. And then Brooklyn. So we're hitting a lot of different cities. Indianapolis on Sunday, which is going to be a great time as well, just because I went to school in Indiana. So now I'll be back. I think that'll be my first time back in Indiana since I graduated.
What school did you go to?
I went to a smaller liberal arts school right outside of Indianapolis called Anderson University.
Oh, I've heard of Anderson. That's
Oh, really?
yeah, I have heard of it, because I went to North Central College in Naperville here,
Oh, okay.
just outside of Chicago. So I went to a small liberal arts college as well. Totally
Okay.
get it.
I'm always
Yeah.
surprised when people say they know Anderson. I'm just like, wow, okay. So you know the Midwest.
I'm from the Midwest, but
Right.
I still have the swagger of a Brooklyn girl.
I love
You
it.
sounds like you guys have played in a couple of places. From the audience's response, who has been the most fun? Which audience has been the most fun
You
so
know,
far?
I honestly, each audience brings something completely different. And
Mm.
I honestly can say it's just each city has its own energy, and I love going to each city because you see who responds to which jokes, which things land with certain crowds that may not land with another crowd, but then another thing that you didn't expect to land with this crowd lands. And for me, it's fun just to see which city receives certain things or receives other things in another way. So
Oh wow. I mean, that's exciting. And you are playing young Jason Alexander. It's the role, Jason Alexander, that was made popular by Alan Payne. Now, I hear that Alan is touring with you guys. How is it working alongside of him, even Marcel, Tretch, and the others that are part of the production?
oh my gosh, it's amazing. Alan, he's phenomenal. Just to be able to play his younger self is truly humbling for me. Alan has done so much in this industry. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him and my fellow co-stars who have paved the way for the next generation to come up. So kudos to them, big ups to them. I'm so appreciative for all the wisdom that they've just poured into me on this stint. So it's truly been amazing. And being able to work with them is even more amazing. I'm truly blessed. So
Oh, that's good to great to hear. For actors, I always love to hear how actors work with directors. Now, Jacarius, I I've heard some great things about him as a director. How has it been working with him, and how has he helped you learn the craft of acting on
so
stage with
actually
this production? Mhm.
Jacarius is the producer and I believe
Ah,
co-writer of the project, but our director's name is Jay Kyle, and Jay Kyle's phenomenal. He
mhm.
actually graduated from NYU Tisch with his MFA.
Oh,
So he's very well studied and he has a very unique approach to directing, which I love. Each time you work with a new director, you get something completely different. And he has truly allowed us to find, you know, find our perspective in the story while also being truthful to his vision. So it's truly been an extraordinary experience.
If you were given advice to any young actor or someone that is interested in getting into either stage productions or film, what would be some of the advice you would give them?
Yeah, I often say do this because you love it. If
Mm.
your heart isn't here, this isn't the right career path for you, because there are many highs and lows, and things may look glamorous on the outside, but that is probably 1% of the time. The other 99% of the time is putting in the work. So if you truly love this, I would say hone into your craft, get in a class, um, find your tribe. I think when you put in the work, you'll naturally find your tribe and find like-minded individuals who have the same aspirations as you, and you'll begin to create and build a wonderful journey with them.
Wow. And okay, well, I'm excited about this. Now I'm going to be seeing the film I'm going to be seeing the play tonight. I have to remind myself this is a stage play, so anything goes. Any surprises or anything that I should be looking out for? Because I have a little bit of my film. I have the film in my head, but I think I
Yeah,
want to toss it out to see this new
yeah.
experience.
I would say toss it out, come in open-minded. I think you will, because it's truly a reimagined version.
Mm.
There are definitely elements, and the storyline is still there, but this is completely a reimagined version, and I think hopefully you will love the play. I often go out to the lobby after the show and just love hearing the fans and hearing, their thoughts and perspectives on the stage play, and they share. It's hard to compare it because the film was so phenomenal. So they came in a little skeptical, but they were thoroughly impressed, and they said, we brought so many new amazing elements to this project that I think you need in live theater.
Yeah, and I think live theater sometimes can almost be a lost art. But I think when it was taken away from us during the pandemic, I'm grateful that the resurgence is coming, especially on Broadway and definitely on with
Hmm.
touring shows. And
Yeah.
so, Elijah, I am proud of the direction that your career is going. And anytime you have any projects that you want to bring to us, we'd love to promote it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I truly, sincerely appreciate it. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you tonight.
That's going to be fun for my friends in Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and a few other places. Check it out. It'll be Jason's Lyric Live, Jacarius Johnson, and you'll be looking out for playing the young Jason Alexander character, Elijah Washington. I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and this is the Interludes podcast, along with Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. Yay! Wasn't that fun? Oh my God. Can you hear me, coach? Coach, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Coach, can you hear me? All right. All right. So we're back. Hopefully coach can hear me. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Okay. All right. So I don't know if you did something and disconnected the thing. Let me do this. Kevin Springer, can you hear me? Please put it in the chat to say yes, you can hear me, or you can't hear me, because Coach can't hear me, but I want to know if the audience can hear me. We'll sit there and do that, because I guess we're having a little tech issues because the focus was on the video. Now we're back, and so Kevin, if you could let us know if we can be heard or not. Looks like we are streaming good on a few other places. Yep, I see that. So all right, so let me do this. Let me take coach out of here, and then let me bring him back and see if he can hear. Coach, can you hear me now? Okay, can you guys see coach? I don't know what happened. Let me bring him back. All right. All right, coach, can you hear me now? All right. So hopefully, Coach, he can hear me. Okay, great. You can't see Coach. Okay, so something has happened with Coach. So we'll bring him back. But thank you so much for that, Janita, because we were having some issues. And so let me make sure that let me bring Coach back. Coach, are you there? Can you hear me? All right. Coach, can you hear? Okay. He can't hear us. I don't know what happened. Can you hear us? Oh my. Okay. All right. And at first we couldn't see you at first. I don't know what happened. Coach, I'm gonna text you. You can see him, but he can't. All right. You gotta you gotta reconnect. We need to you need to hear us. I don't know what happened. So let me do this. Janita can hear us. She can hear me. Why can't you hear me? So doesn't seem like he can see you. Okay. Can you see me? All right. So we'll do this. We'll have Coach. I'll text him in the back and find out what's going on. I guess his phone did something weird. I don't know what it did, but it is what it is. But like I said, Elijah Washington, what a wonderful, wonderful interview that I had with him, and I wanted to just share exactly what all that we did. And like I said, it's really, really phenomenal that we were able to um, do this interview with him, which is wonderful. Really, really excited about it all, and like real excited. And so, Coach, can you hear me? Coach, can you hear me? All right, I have no idea what's going on. I put you in the thing. I have no clue. Okay, let's do this. I love when there's tech issues. It's always fun. So I'm going to say restart your your phone. There we go. Restart your phone and come back. So, all right. So we're gonna have him come back because I don't know what I don't know what's happening. It's absolutely hilarious that we are having those tech issues, but of course it's okay to have a tech issue. It is what it is. Oh my goodness. But like I said, the show is on tour right now. If you are in if you're in Brooklyn, it's supposed to be there in April, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be there in April. And then of course, it's a few other places it's going to be too. Let me go ahead and do this. Um so the schedule was here, which I was really happy to see and share. And I see the Brown Sugar Cafe is in the building. How you doing? Oh, of course, dope shirt. I got it from the show, which is really amazing. Okay, let me take a look here. All right, there we go. So it is March 20th, which is that's Thursday. They're going to be in Louisville, Kentucky. That'll be fun. Memphis, Tennessee on the 22nd, St. Louis on the 23rd. If you're in the DC area, they're there for about 4 shows, March 27th through the 29th at the National Theater. And then also they are going to be in Richmond, Virginia in April 2nd. Norfolk, Virginia, I don't want to forget them, March 30th. Philadelphia, March 3rd and 4th. New Haven, Connecticut on April 3rd and April 5th. Be More, they're going to be there April 6th, one show only. And then also Raleigh on April 10th. Atlanta, Georgia gets not one, not two, but a couple of days there. In Charlotte, North Carolina, April 13th. April 25th, April 26th, they'll be in my old stomping ground, Brooklyn, New York. And then on Washington, D.C., they're there for another five shows, which is great. That's in DC. And then they wrap up everything May 9th in Dallas, Texas. So I'm real excited that this is happening. And we want to thank Elijah for coming on and sharing his, I want to call it sharing his life and what happened with him. I'm so grateful that he got a chance to just spend a little time talking with me and then meeting us, myself and Princess, after the show. It was really a good time. And I enjoyed the play more than anything else. Coach, I'm hoping that you can hear all the words that are coming out of my mouth right now.
I can finally hear all the words that are coming out your mouth. He played the video. It must not have liked me because I have no idea. It put me in outer space. I felt like those two astronauts just said, I'll be home in 8 days. And it took a year and a half.
Did you hear any of the video?
Yes.
Okay, you heard the video. So I'm grateful that you did. Now that so one of my takeaways from what Elijah shared was that he's just getting started in Hollywood. We're at the next, what was that? We're at the very beginning of his career. And someone's saying hello to you, Coach. It says that's Amari.
Murray, what's going on? Dewberry, what's happening? It's my peoples right there. That's my kin folks. You checking in tonight. You should have checked in last night. We was on the Pull Up Podcast show. But that's okay. Because Val always tell everybody better late than never.
And then the Brown Sugar Cafe says, dope shirt, Val. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
Hold on. What about my shirt? Come on, I got the.
Oh Lord.
Come on, you got
Dre. Oh, here we go.
Dr. Dre, the B nuts. I got the hip hop shirt on tonight. We celebrate a little hip hop style tonight.
Exactly.
But you know,
so
what I liked about that, Val,
mm-hmm.
Great interview. And you hit him with a couple of questions that you made him think. And
mm-hmm.
that's what I try to do with my people. I may know you, not know you, but I want to come out with that 1 or 2 questions that really make you think. And it was really good because you mentioned something. You said to him, how do you feel that you got Payne running around, Tretch running around, you playing a younger character from 30 years ago?
30 years ago.
Oh. And you nailing it. You're doing your job. And Payne ain't got nothing to say. That's when you know you're doing your job good. When the original person says, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like it. Now, the question I wish you would have asked him is, does he have any motion picture opportunities coming to him?
I think so. And I think what I found very exciting is that he's got people working with him on his Instagram. And so he is, a Maryland native. And so the Cannes Film Festival was a big deal. And he got a chance to do this. And I think this was back in 2023. And so they flew him out. To
that's when you know you're important, when they pay for it.
When they pay for it, that's a big deal. And so Elijah, like I said, he is producing, and then he auditioned for this. I don't know how many people he went up against to play the young Jason Alexander, but he was doing double duty.
He looks like him almost, Val. He favors him very much. I was looking at his physique and his curl and his hair. He favors a young Payne.
Yeah, and the other thing that we didn't get a chance to talk about is that he is also a singer-songwriter. So this is on his IG, and so I was just like, oh my gosh, you sing and you write music too. Oh my goodness, all of the talent everywhere.
There it is.
So like I said, I think the one thing about when you have someone, and this is when you're unjaded, you're at the very beginning of your career. And then, of course, you can grab the nuggets from Victoria Rao. You can grab the acting nuggets from Alan Payne and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. So you could grab some of the voice. He probably is kind of kicking it with a little bit with K. Michelle, just right. Sing a little something, and then boom, there you go. You would be
regardless of the film. Hey, when we walk off stage, hey, K. Michelle, what you about to do? Where you going? You been in Chicago before? Where you going to eat? Hey, we'll be connected.
Yeah. So I think it's real cool. And here's the thing. When he was here in Chicago, I guess he was hanging out with someone. They were like, okay, let's do some pictures around Chicago. And I was like, you have made my hometown look very, very nice with some of these iconic shots near the Chicago River. So
You could have
kudos.
left out the Trump Hotel though.
Notice he didn't put that in the shot. He did not put that in
Exactly.
the shot. Praise the
That's
Lord.
the
He did not
Wrigley
put that
building
in
for
the
some of
shot.
those that don't know. That's a nice, iconic building to the
Mhm.
right there, the Wrigley building. It was very nice. And I
Mhm.
like that. But the
Yeah.
question, Val, you know what
Mhm.
you should have did?
What?
You should have been able to take him off the set and Tretch too, because see, Tretch got that hood in him. You should have rolled him out on 55th Street over in Hyde Park, or rode him up on 63rd and got him
No.
some food. Oh man, he should take him to the hood, got him some food. If they'd have been around me, we'd at least went down on 23rd and got some food from Lawrence Fish House. We'd have did that. I had to give him a taste of Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I didn't know they were. I think they were in Chicago just about all week, and so I think
Oh
they
yeah,
were
we
in
definitely would have kicked him.
rehearsals. And here's the thing: the publicists, they were just very protective, which I totally get. You don't want, I'm brand new to Elijah. He didn't know me. I
Yeah,
didn't
but
know him. The
Trent don't
only
give a damn about none of that.
No,
Trent
no,
is
no.
gonna kick it.
That's Tretch. That's different. Tretch has been in the game for over 30 years.
And in the hood for about 50.
Exactly. So that's totally different. Elijah's young. He's a young guppy. We do not want to corrupt the young guppies. We want them to stay unjaded and having fun doing what they love for as long as possible. We don't want no jade coming to Jade, Elijah.
Hey,
We don't want no jade coming to any
hey
of the other
Val,
young actors that's in this film. Enjoy
hey
yourself.
Val, I can hear Monique calling you the next morning. Girl, call me. We need to talk.
What did you say about my son in love?
No,
What
no,
did
no,
you
no,
say
no,
about
no,
my
no.
son in
What
love?
no, she ain't gonna say what you said. Where'd you take him last night? You and Coach Tony. I knew you should have left away from Coach Tony.
You corrupted my son. You corrupted my son. Yeah, I'm not doing that. These
Oh,
things
he
will
talking
not
about in
happen.
Chicago. He talking about when we're
No,
gonna go back just on vacation.
no. None of these things are happening on my watch. None of these things are happening on my watch. Now, before we get out of here, I want to make sure that I talk about a few things briefly. I got a chance to watch this show called Paradise. Now, it just wrapped up its first season. Sterling K. Brown, and oh gosh, a wonderful cast he's leading up. And
Yes.
I have to say, with this film, with this, I want to call it TV series, it is on. I want to call it the sci-fi
Hulu.
disaster type of situations. I'm sorry, let me get who I get all this. Julianne Nicholson, who's the other person? James Martison, he plays the president. Carl Bradford, Chris Marshall, my gosh, her facial expressions said so much in this. And then of course, who is this? Aaliyah Marson plays his daughter. Matt Malloy, just a very interesting cast of Paradise. If you have not seen this series, and you're thinking doomsday, those are the type of words that come into my mind when I think about this thing. And it's 8 episodes, and it was a cliffhanger every episode, coach. I mean, like,
Well,
well, what's gonna happen next? Well, then
well,
who got shot? What happened to this person? Yeah.
well, my perspective of what I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching so far.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are watching Shamar Moore and FBI or NCIS LA, to me, Val, this is kind of an extension. I
Okay,
like
wait,
it.
stop. So Shamar Moore is in SWAT,
SWAT. That's not. I'm sorry. It's SWAT.
Yeah, he's in SWAT. Right. Okay, there you go.
This is kind of like that.
Mhm.
I like it, but I immediately went to FBI, SWAT, and NCIS. Those type of series. Um, I like the character so far. I'm three episodes in, so don't tell me anything. But
Mhm.
it's kind of like a situation. One thing I can say is you mentioned it a moment ago. It is a smack in the back from the Robert De Niro that we talked about, the other series and this series, that everything all of a sudden is talking about AI and how it's taken over and the
Mhm.
things that it can do. So I don't give a damn what movie we look at and we talk about. The one meaningful thing in all of them is AI. So it is incredible. So far, I'm into it. I like it, but it's kind of like
Mhm.
an extension of SWAT, in my opinion.
And here's the thing, I'm a fan of nostalgia music. There's a
Okay.
element
Yes.
you'll see in the latter episodes, especially the final episode, where you probably get a little insight on the creators and why they named this particular series Paradise, because
Okay.
it is nothing
It,
it
it ain't a
Paradise,
paradise. Obviously, it ain't paradise.
exactly. Paradise
It's an
can have a look.
oxymoron.
Right. Paradise can have a look, but it could be a whole bunch of cracks in the mirage of paradise. So I was totally, and like I said, I love he plays this great father, but he's done that on several shows. Sterling K. Brown is just you can't look away from him. He
What's
captures
his
you now.
What's his wife name? My girl that played in Girls Trip, the main character.
Okay, are you referring to Paradise or are you referring to his real life wife?
Real life wife.
Okay.
Some Girls Trip.
Okay, so she's not in Girls Trip.
Yes,
That's
she
not
is.
her at all. No, she's not. His real life wife was in a series, if I remember this correctly. Um, and I want to say, now I wish you would have warned me that you were going to talk about his
I
wife,
threw a
because
curveball, but his wife was in Girls Trip. She was the main
she was
character.
she was not the main character and she was not in Girls Trip.
See,
I
now,
can definitely I
you
could
got a debate now.
I could definitely confirm that. That's Ryan Michelle Bath. That's his wife, and she. If I look down here, I'm looking on her IMDb page. First Wives Club was the show that I saw her in, that originated on, I think, BET, and then it all of the episodes came on Netflix. She was in The Rookie. She got a chance to appear on her husband's show, This Is Us. She was on Empire and a few other shows, but All
Ah,
Rise, I think she was on that as well, but she was not in Girls Trip. I am looking at all of her acting credits, and
man,
Girls Trip
I'm about to
is
look that up because we gonna have to argue. Matter of fact, I'm getting my boxing gloves on right now. Hold on one second. I gotta put these on in the corner.
no, the boxing gloves are not necessary. We will happily we will do this. I want you to take a look. I want you to take. Now, are you looking at what I'm showing you right here? That's
Let me
Ryan.
see.
That's Ryan. That's his wife. I
I
want you to known for One for the Money, Boston Legal, This Is Us, All About Us. These are her acting credits. Do you see all of her acting credits here? I'll make it a
I
little
can't
bit.
see it, but you know what I'm saying.
It's a
I'm
little bit
looking.
bigger. Can you see that?
Okay.
Okay. I'm scrolling down. 2019. I'm scrolling down. 2017. Now, when did Girls Trip come out?
See that was
2019.
right before the pandemic, what 1920, something like that.
2019 is when it came out. Do you
Okay.
see it listed under her name?
I'm gonna do my own research.
This is the research right in your face. That's her name. That's his wife. Okay, I'm going to stop doing that.
I'm gonna give him a new wife. If that ain't his wife, I'm gonna give him a new wife. I
Okay, well,
love his
check this.
current wife, but he gonna get a new
Terrence,
wife.
Terrence says definitely not in Girls Trip.
Terrence, ain't nobody talking to you right now. Ain't nobody talking to you right now. Right care what she talking about.
Monique came on and said she
What's
enjoyed
up,
the
Mo?
interview for sure. Thank you, Monique. We
Mo baby,
appreciate
what's
that.
up?
Okay, and the next series that's on Netflix that we'd like to point out dealing
Oh,
with
this is
AI is
crazy.
Zero Day.
Crazy. Crazy day.
Whew, it's a limited series, and two of my favorite actors are in this: Angela Bassett and Robert De Niro. Woo!
Val,
It
I'm
is
actually
tense.
looking forward to his new getting back to what he does, mafia movie in the Altoid, that's coming out in a few months. I want to see him back there because this year, the only thing I can say about this movie is a play on words or a play on
Mhm.
character. Because they basically took Kamala Harris and made her president, and Joe Biden made him head of CIA. That's kind of the movie. But again, Val, what we talked about, dealing with AI, dealing with stuff that can happen in this very day, that's what the movie could tell. I didn't like the way it ended, but the things that happen could happen in real life.
Exactly, exactly. And it deals with, and I'm putting this in the chat right now, like a cyber terrorism.
Yes.
And it's a limited series. It goes for about, I want to say 5 to 6
10.
episodes.
I think it was 10.
Okay, well, okay, well, probably 10 episodes. And so I have to say that I liked De Niro's character as the former president. I think his name was George Mullen. What I was interested in was seeing was that sometimes things weren't as they appeared to him. He
Correct.
thought he wrote something down and then it wasn't there. There was kind of like this build up in the first episode where someone's trying to get through the door, but
Right.
you don't really know what that is until later into the film, which is really good. She Angela Bassett plays the current president in this
Correct.
world, President Evelyn Mitchell, and
Yep.
she is given that awesome responsibility.
Yep. You know my take on this, Val?
Uh-huh.
When I look at it, this is only for promotional purposes only.
Here we go.
This is the type of movie that the 47th or the 48th would look at and use to say, oh, yeah, he was just like that. He didn't remember day to day, right? Words jumping off of a book, words jumping off the memorandum. He's trying to read the podium as he's giving a major speech, and his mind goes back 20, 30, 40 years ago, right, to something that
Mhm.
happened. And I laugh because as Joe Biden was leaving the office and the new president was coming in, those are the type of things that they were talking about. You know, go back to the debate when they asked, I have no idea what Joe just said. Anyway, I'm going to just give you my own answer. And when you look at this movie, Angela Bassett was like, hey, I need to know, is this real? Right? Well, I mean,
Mhm.
because this is the country. I need to know, are you certain? But no one around him, not even his own daughter, was confident in what was going on. And then we talked about the person that played Michael McCarthy, the head of the house, looked just like
Mhm.
his brother. But when I say in terms of realism, this
Mhm.
movie was as real as it can get if you wanted an inside view of the White House and day-to-day activities and things that go on. But even though it was a little fictitious, the things that happened and what was scary, and I don't know if you thought about the same thing, was when they shut only a block of the United States system down and did what they wanted to do and then turn it back on like it
I
never happened.
know.
Man, let me tell you, do you remember? And here's where I'm gonna put this loop to. Do you remember years ago when we had a major blackout on the West Coast?
I remember that. I remember there was a major blackout on the East Coast, actually, not West Coast,
East
East
Coast,
Coast.
my bad. Yes, and
Mhm.
this is what this remind me of, and
Mm.
and to this very day, they still wasn't able to explain. They tried to pawn it off on Verizon and Sprint at that time, and whomever else, because Verizon and Sprint were the two giants. But come on now, Val, that was early warfare, early.
Mhm. Early, and I think this is something. Now we always we there's, I've always heard that television is someone telling you a vision of what they see, but
That's
I
why I call
almost
it
think that a lot
television.
of I almost think that a lot of times it's almost a prediction of, if things are not corrected, this is what possibly could
Could
happen.
happen.
And
Exactly.
I think that's what shudders and scares me just a little bit when I think about uh films like not films, but series like Paradise, and also Zero Day. I
And the
see
other
that
pieces you and I
April,
talked about, remember you and I
right?
talked about is where we talked about the copycats. Because
Exactly.
these are series that I know this is nothing to take light of heart because we still haven't figured it out. But like the
Hmm.
school shootings, I never think
Right.
they should release a manifesto. Why the hell am
No.
I going to get Val's manifesto who didn't complete her journey, and then I want to be a copycat so I can go down in history? Man, come on, miss me
Hmm.
with that. But when you
Yeah, I
looking
don't.
at
I
these
don't.
movies and they doing something that's real, if you go back and look at, you remember you and I were just talking about a while back about what's the Will Smith movie when he played our robot, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And look at what Elon Musk is doing today with AI and
Yeah.
these other robots. So when you're looking at this type of movie, Zero Day, and you're looking at what you were just mentioning, there are these copycats out there that take these movies and say, I wonder if I could make this reality.
Right. And I
Scary.
think that we just need to this be conscious that it could happen.
Yes.
And here's the thing, I think it's a warning. But here's the thing, ultimately, entertainment is entertainment. Now let me get this out here. Queen April's joining us on via what is this, on Instagram, and
Okay.
she said she mentioned that SWAT got canceled. I heard about that. Shamar Moore's film series that's been on for 8 seasons now. But April says that season 2 for, I believe, Paradise, it got picked up, and she says she would love to work on this TV show. I don't know where they shoot
Oh wow.
Paradise.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be good. And then of course she she said, "Hey, what's
I
up?"
could see April working on
Mhm.
that.
Oh my gosh, yes, as one of she could do a stunt or something for that. And then Zero Day, that's a limited series. I don't think it's going to
Yes.
come back. I think it's for the episodes
I
that it's
hope it
there.
don't come back, Val. Please let it go. When he walked up on the ground and got in the helicopter, let it go.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
So
that's a
those are
movie I couldn't take no chicken wings into that movie.
those are those are our series picks for this week, and that's all we actually have time to go as
So
we
who do
go
you
ahead
give
and
thumbs
wrap
up
up.
to out of the movies we reviewed? Who do you get a
Mhm.
thumbs up to?
I give a thumbs up to Paradise. I give a thumbs up to Paradise. I think that it's going to be a fun time to go ahead and Sterling K. Brown, his acting is so stealth. I can't look away from him. I can tell he loves his wife in the series. He loves his kids in the series. He's fighting for the truth, and you go on that wild ride with him. There's a scene that happens, I think, in like the fourth or fifth episode,
So I'm on the
and
third
it's
episode,
something
so
that
I'm about
kind
to
of,
get there.
yeah, and something shocking happens, and then before you realize it, you're looking up to the sky with a message. And that's all I'm going to say since you haven't finished it. But I say
Okay.
a major thumbs up to paradise and for its creators. And so, like I said, I enjoyed it. And I hope once you get through all the way to the end, you're going to, when you get to the 8th episode and hear the music that inspired the title, you're going to be like, I see what Val was talking about, but I can't tell you.
Okay.
Since you
I'm
haven't
gonna tell you.
finished.
I'm gonna call
Mhm.
you. I don't care if it's 3 in the morning, but Val, get up. Let's talk about
It's,
this.
it
But you
is,
know,
it is, a birthday
the
today. I
Queen,
did not know this.
UNITY,
Yeah.
that's a unity. Man, you should have dropped a track on that.
I no, because I did video and Universal Music said had a copyright strike, so we're not doing that no more. We
Okay, I
know.
got you. I got you. But hey, listen,
Oh,
I'm gonna sing it for y'all. UNITY. I mean,
oh
that's my
Lord.
girl, Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
That's a unity. Man, happy
55. 55
birthday.
years
She turned
young.
a double nickel. She didn't even invite
Double
me to the
nickel.
party. Man, I'm gonna hit her up on Twitter tomorrow. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm
I
supposed to at
know.
least be in the house.
So that's Dana Owens. I've loved her since Ladies
Yes.
First. So
Ladies first.
it's all
Ooh,
about that.
ladies first.
And
Ladies first.
speaking of queens, thank you so much for this, Queen April. She told me that the queens are going on tour. 4 Legend, One
What?
Stage, Gladys Knight,
Oh,
Chaka Khan, Patti
oh,
LaBelle, and
oh,
Stephanie Mills.
oh. Hey, Val, I would still date all them.
So I'm just saying that this is you go
That's
from
gonna
one
be a
queen,
dope concert. And you gotta
one
get
queen.
you gotta get that schedule so we can let the audience know because that's gonna be a very nice concert.
Yeah, so
The
the
question is,
schedule
let me ask you a question.
gets kicked off in Vegas May 9th. And then it
Ooh,
goes
May
all the
9th.
way. It'll be in Chicago May 30th. I'll be in town. I
I'm
will
gonna have
be
to
in
roll
and
up
out.
on that one. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Who starts and who finishes? There you go. I want to know. I want to know
Well,
from Val to Void. Who starts and who finishes?
well, I say let's go in. I want to call it from youngest to the eldest queen, or the one who has the hits, who can kick off her heels and have a good old time. I say things should get started with Stephanie Mills.
Okay.
She sets things on fire, especially with her rendition of Home. I recently saw Stephanie Mills perform
Okay.
in person, so that's wonderful. And as I go ahead, Shaka Khan, I would put her right after Stephanie Mills. She could perform the hits that she did with Rufus, and of course the hits
Okay.
"I Feel for You" and all the rest of those good things. And then of course you got Gladys Knight with decades of hits, and then
Yes.
who would wrap things up will be, in my mind, the queen of them all. It would be Patty. I kick off my
So
heels.
yes,
Bet.
LaBelle.
Now here's
I'm gonna ride with you on that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna
mhm,
ride with you except up front. I think you change it. I
mhm.
think you get the crowd right off the rap, and I
Okay.
think you kick it off with Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan,
There you
Shaka
go.
Khan, Shaka Khan. Yeah,
All right.
you kick it off with
Don't get us
Shaka,
in trouble.
and you get the crowd rocking, and
Okay.
then
Okay.
you mellow them out with Stephanie, right? I wish it was Anita Baker, fly haircut like Anita Baker, looked up and down and said, I'll take her. That would have been dope. But you got to give it to Steph. She comes
Mhm.
in. Then, as you just said, you give it to the girl. You give it to the one and only. And then you finish with Patty. You got to finish with Patty. But I think that I like the order. I just changed the first two because I think that Shaka would just get the crowd rolling.
Mhm. I think see, you're probably forgetting some of the up tempo songs that Stephanie has.
Oh, Stephanie
She
has
has
something. I got this on
yeah,
vinyl.
exactly. Never knew love like this
I never
before.
knew love. Yeah, I love
Mhm.
that
She's got,
jam.
and here's the thing. I think, in fact, no, I've seen all of these queens perform live at one time or
Oh,
another.
wow.
Yeah, I've seen. I saw Patti LaBelle at Essence Music Festival in the '90s.
Okay.
Shut things down. I saw
In New
Stephanie Mills
Orleans.
at the Airy Crown Theater a couple of
Okay.
years ago. Gladys Knight in Brooklyn and Shaka
Okay.
Khan, I think, in Philly. So yeah, I've seen all of these queens at one point perform. So April
And don't forget Gladys
2022. Thank you so much.
and Gladys and Patty did a verses.
Exactly. Wait, who does Gladys and who did the verses?
Gladys and Patty LaBelle did a verses.
Oh, okay, yeah, and that was I
So
was trying to
if
remember
y'all
what
don't
the
remember
name of
that,
that. I was trying to remember
oh
what the name of that show was called.
yeah,
Versus.
verses. Yeah,
I
verses.
couldn't. Daniel, I was on the phone with him. I could not think of the name of the Swiss Beats created show,
Yeah,
and that
Swiss
was
B
it. It was
created
Versus.
verses. And if you didn't see that, they pulled a Snoop Dogg and DMX. If you
Mhm.
seen Snoop Dogg and DMX, it wasn't even a verses. Snoop was like, I'm so in love with DMX music, we just gonna kick it tonight. And that's what happened with Patty. Patty and Gladys got on, and when she sang Midnight Train to Georgia, that's
It's a
that, to
wrap.
me, there's nothing that Patty has that can
Mhm.
top Midnight Train to Georgia, especially
Wait. Now you
when
Midnight. Wait. Midnight Train in Georgia is Gladys. You mean right?
I said that, Gladys, yes.
You said Patty. You threw me
No,
off.
no, I said Gladys sang Midnight Train to Georgia, and
Okay,
Patty had no answer for her. None.
she didn't.
Because, no, because Patty was like, oh, think about it, Val. If you thinking about that song and the era that it came out in the 60s, it
70s.
was 60s, late 60s, early 70s. Think about what's going on in the country, right? Think about the turmoil that was going on and the meaning behind that. And then Gladys started talking about the band and everything else. There's it was just nuts. They end up singing together the remaining part of the verses as opposed to doing a battle. Because Patty was like, we ain't about to battle. I want you to come over here and kick a couple more songs. And it was, if you never seen that, you guys, go back and type in on YouTube Patty and Gladys verses. Great.
Well, I think with the four of them doing music, if they do their full sets, it would be a long 2 hours or 4 hours or however long it is. But I think if I'm to count how many top 40 or top 10 hits that which artist has, it's weird. It's kind of that stretch of it. You had your time when you were popular, and then you things kind of went quiet. And one of the most underrated of the four to me is Stephanie Mills,
Yes,
because I
I give you
think
that.
I still say that Stephanie Mills should have been the singer in The Wiz versus
You put a
Diana
little
Ross.
touch on me.
No diss to Diana Ross, but Stephanie was in the original stage play in 1975 for The Wiz,
Yes,
but when they went to the film version in 1978, it ended up being Diana Ross. A lot of
yes.
people who remember and who saw Stephanie on stage,
Stage.
they wanted to see her in the film, and I was thinking, why didn't they have her in? But that's neither here or there. Shaka Khan, who a lot of her hits are with Rufus. I found out one
Rufus.
of my favorites from Rufus was produced by Quincy Jones. Do you love what you feel? That was
Do
that was
you
Quincy
love
Jones.
what you feel?
Had no
Boom,
idea that
boom,
was. And
boom.
then one of my
Do you
all-time
love?
all-time favorite songs from Patti LaBelle is "If You Only Knew."
No, yeah, man.
That is one
That
of
to
my
me
favorites. Mhm.
matches Luther Vandross's House as a Home.
Yeah. And if you've ever now let me stop sharing here. Soul Train. All of those ladies have
Soul
appeared on Soul Train. All of those ladies have
Train.
appeared on Soul Train. But I
Don
remember
Cornelius.
I remember they would now Don would have them come on and they would lip sync. Patty was
Yes.
one of the few artists that would appear on Soul Train and request, I don't want to lip sync.
But it wasn't that amazing though, Val, that you just said that. People watching that show, we were kids. We had no idea what the hell lip
And
sync meant,
I
right?
know.
We
I
just know
didn't.
they was a kid. I watched OJ's and Bobby Womack and Cool in the Gang. I can go down the list. Even Casey and the Sunshine Band. And I'm saying, damn, they lip sync that. They were good. They were on beat, on par.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Queen, Patty, like, no, I'm not about to do none of that.
No, and I think the one thing about when she would appear on Soul Train, it was just about her saying that I want to make sure that I give the best to my fans. And then, you know, the one thing that I think about is that she said that lip syncing just didn't feel good or whatever, and she wanted to do it. And so when she sang, and I clearly remember it because I was a shorty when that came out. I was like 10 or 11. And when she hit that note, and you could still hear her, and the mic was like this far away from her mouth.
Oh, yeah.
You could still hear her. And I was like, and you heard people in the audience like, woo, yeah, go sing or whatever. And I was like, I never hear that with.
But that was Patty. That was Patty. And again, that's why she would close my show out, because Patty's going to be Patty. But, you know, again, I haven't seen the show, neither have you, but I don't put it past Patty to bring all the ladies up to do one song, all four of them together to close the show out.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I think Patty, I don't know if it was her idea. I don't know if it was Gladys's idea. I don't know if it was Shaka. I don't know whose idea it was, but I say major kudos for this tour. I noticed it's only about, I want to say 15 dates, if that many. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And as we wrap up, I'm just saying, I say go ahead and support the Queens.
Get your tickets. Get your. You know what I like about this, Val?
In the chat. Thank you so much for putting that in the chat. 4 legends, 1 stage. Nashville, they are going to be there at Nashville on the 18th in Nashville of May.
18th of what? What?
Of
Oh,
May.
that'd be. I may take Scout. I may take my granddaughter to see that.
And in Chicago is going to be May. As I see this May 30th. So I'm excited.
I may do that, and I may bounce back your way, and come home. If we don't do nothing but hang out that weekend and see if we can get the Queens on the podcast.
Exactly. Now, I just noticed something. Patti LaBelle will not be featured at the Baltimore stop, but everywhere else she's going to be. I don't know why she's not at the Baltimore stop, but
that's probably that may be one of them personal things.
Exactly. And Janelle says this will be quite a show. I hope they come to Brooklyn. Yeah, they'll be in Brooklyn May 24th. They will be in Brooklyn
the house.
May 24th.
And these ladies, you got to think, I'm listening to these tour dates that you're giving. And as old as they are, they still got their voice. Wow, that's incredible. Oh
that's really, really incredible. Let me make sure I do this real quick because I need to pivot because our time is going by super quickly, and I want to make sure I get in all of this. Christian Ray Flores. This is someone I interviewed for our Interludes Extra. For the Interludes podcast. He's written a book called The Little Book of Big Reasons to Love America, a love letter from an immigrant. I got a chance to talk with him about that, and he is a Christian. He loves the Lord. He's married, and do you know he is from Russia and cannot go back to Russia right now? I wouldn't want to go back. That's a rough
a couple
situation.
Of things that you said in that sentence. I could have told you he wasn't going to get back.
So I'm gonna go ahead and release that podcast this week, and then of course Jill Collins. That's the current podcast that's out called The Midlife Empowerment with Jill Collins. She talks about her journey of love, loss, and transformation. Please go ahead and check out that audio podcast on our streaming as we continue celebrating March at Women's History Month.
Women's Her Month.
Her Month. There you go. Of course, if you have not picked up a copy of the book, A DJ Saved My Life, please go ahead and do so. Scan the QR code and visit purelighthouse.media.com. And then, of course, we want to make sure we let you know what is happening on next week with the Pull Up Podcast Show.
Pull up, Monday night, pull up on me. I tell you every time. Do not beat me there, because the show is going ridiculous right now. The things we got going on. Next week, Val, we got two coaches that's coming in to talk to us. Coach Newsom from Florida and Coach Richard Laura from Italy. We're going to be interrupting his morning sleep, because they're about 8 hours in front of us, to talk a little bit about basketball and how, this is March Madness, so this is perfect. Talk about some of these kids who are not going to go to the NBA, their opportunities of going overseas and playing. So we're going to talk about that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's all about those things that happen. And of course, our sports dose, you get it filled with I want to call it the Pull Up Podcast. Key Spot. Join, share, connect, grow. It's our affiliate sponsor, Cynthia McAllister, who designed our website. Thank you so very much for that. And of course, we're wrapping up our edition of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. We're so excited that you came and join us. Join us on next week for some more exciting time. And of course, JB Thom, Janita Burke joins us on next week live, chatting with us and having a good time and celebrating the new music, celebrating her 30th anniversary of her 20th birthday. There you go.
Oh my God. JB, I'm telling you right now, we're going to be clowning next week. Don't come up on here trying to be all nice and stuff. You over there talking. We're going to be clowning on here, and bring that music, because I think we can turn some of your songs into house music.
Exactly. It definitely would. But of course, we'll see you guys next week. And you know what we like to say.
And peace. And I'm out.
We out. Woo-hoo.